We're back at it again. It's Tuesday. That means it's New Release Tuesday.
Hey.
The Engaged Life right here on the Engaged Network. That's right. We're back at it again. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sending in your questions. Keep sliding in. I'm at Brett Esslinger on Instagram. That's at Des Esslinger on Instagram. We love it when you send us your questions, and hopefully we answered some of yours last week. Keep them coming. If you want to email, if that's better for you, then brett@engagedchurch.ca. Just send those on in, and we will keep answering the questions that come out. Now, I got a lot of people saying, I don't want my name being used. Can I just be anonymous? Yes.
Yes, you can.
Yes, cheater. Yes, you can. It's totally fine. You can be anonymous if you need to be, but, I mean, there's probably a lot of people with your name on the internet, so no one's probably going to narrow it down to you. But that's all right. We're here to serve. That's what we're here to do. The whole idea of the Engaged Life is that our faith is not only lived on Sundays. We got the Sunday feels. But what happens when we have to live Monday to Friday or Monday to Saturday? What happens when we realize that we are made for Monday, that we're not just supposed to live in isolation on Sunday?
With all the stuff.
Yeah, what happens when an idea that gets talked about from a stage or a song that gets sung, or when we read a passage of Scripture, what happens when the rubber hits the road in our life? How do we put our faith to work in that context? And that's what these conversations are all about. How do we move forward one step at a time, following Jesus, living that engaged life? Once again, I'm Brett. This is Desiree. We're so honored that you are here with us today. And we want to just talk about, over the next couple of weeks, I think probably the most controversial or misunderstood topic in the history of Christianity.
Ooh. Way to ramp it.
Did I oversell it?
You ramped it.
I might have oversold it, but maybe I didn't. And it's this idea of prayer, because people always say prayers, sending my prayers and thoughts.
Yeah, with the emoji
hands, which aren't, they're supposed to be a high five. You know that? It's not even. Yeah, we use it for prayer, but it's originally it's a high five.
Oh.
And this, don't even ask me what this is.
Learn something new. Okay.
Learning things every day on the Engaged Life. We should just wrap it up. That was
on
enough.
The interwebs.
That was enough knowledge for today. But this idea of prayer, because it's vague, it's spiritual, it's mystical, it's kind of practical, kind of not really. Is it just us with a shopping list of things for God? Is he like our cosmic genie that we just put in a quarter and we give at church on Sunday and then he answers our prayer? How does that work? I know we've already dug into some of these ideas, but the real question for today is, why does God seem so silent?
Yeah.
Right? There's times where you go through difficulties, you go through struggles, and you might be like, wow, it seems quiet. It's all quiet on the Western Front. And I don't think it's a good kind of quiet. Like, it's not calm quiet. It's like just quiet, like eerie, scary, too quiet.
Yeah.
So why does it seem like God is silent in the midst of our struggle? What does that mean? How do we understand that? And how do we move forward?
Whew. Loaded question.
Very simple for today.
Yeah. I think one of the hardest things when we talk about prayer is recognizing that prayer is a communication. Prayer is a conversation. So it's two-sided. It goes two ways. It's a two-way street, like any good relationship. And I think a lot of times we get real used to the one-sided portion of prayer where it's me talking and it's me asking and it's me, giving God my list and it's me. But there's this two-way street where it also involves God speaking. But in order for God to speak, it means we need to listen.
Hold on. So you're saying, why is God so silent? And your answer is because you're still talking?
Yeah.
Funny, but true.
I know.
Funny.
It sounds crazy.
No,
but
it's true.
It is, because a lot of times we think that we're listening, but when we're sitting there thinking that we're silent, what's going on in your brain in that moment? What conversations are going on up there? Are you actually quiet enough that you can hear, that you can listen to what he has to say? Or do you already have all of these ideas flying through your head, or expectations flying through your head of what he's going to say or what he should say or what you want the answer to be or what you really don't want the answer to be? And it's actually creating so much noise in your mind and in your thoughts. And then, we've talked about this in previous weeks, there is a lot of external noise going on as well. So there's the internal, but there's also the external, which phone, Facebook, Instagram, like there's so many things that distract and create schedule, noise, schedule, that create distractions and noise and make it hard for us to stop, be silent and just listen.
Okay, so what you're saying is, number one, why is God so silent? He's silent because you didn't stop talking.
That happens a lot.
So if you want
a
God
lot.
to speak, you need to leave room for him to speak.
Yeah.
The second thing you're saying, why is God so silent? Because our life and our lives and our busyness, our schedules, our devices are creating so much noise that we can't hear the still small voice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Thanks.
It's what I'm here for.
Okay, so then it seems like God is silent. So we've taken the steps. We've worked to stop talking, stop the internal noise, quiet, be calm, remove ourselves from all the external things going on with the intention of just being silent and waiting. And in the middle of waiting for God to say something, in the middle of trials or stress or really hard stuff or decisions needing to be made, and it just still feels like there's no answer yet.
Right.
Then what?
I think this is pretty real for a lot of us. You're going through something, you're just trying to figure it out. You're trying to come up with an answer, and you're not getting anything. Now, I guess the first question I might ask you if we were sitting down having a conversation is, are you not getting anything, or are you just not getting what you want to hear?
Are you ignoring something?
Is the silence silence where you're getting zero, or is the silence where you're not getting what you want?
Yeah.
Because, when you have kids, it's easy to drown out the requests time and time, and when they keep asking you the same thing that you already said no to a million times, or
they
that you already said yes
know
to,
the answer.
They know the answer.
They
and I'm not
don't
saying
like
God is I'm not saying that he's ignoring you like us as parents who just check out and like stop answering to our kids going, Dad, 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 Dad. I'm not saying that our Father in heaven's, I'm going, Dad, 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 and he's going, I'm ignoring you. But what I am saying is it possible that you already know the answer, that you've already heard the answer, that you already understand the answer? Is it possible that he already gave you the answer in the Bible and you've read it, that you just don't like the answer?
Yeah.
And so the silence isn't a product of him being silent or being quiet, but is it possible that the silence is a product of you not hearing what you want to hear?
Ooh, that's a hard one.
And I don't know. I mean, I'm just answering with a question. I'm not giving you a hard, because it is entirely possible that you're just not hearing anything. And I would say in a season where you don't hear anything, what you need to know is that you're not alone.
Yeah.
Everybody that lives a life of faith goes through a moment where it seems like you're not hearing, or it seems like things are quiet. You're not alone on that journey. It is possible that, I would say, there's always a purpose. In John, after Jesus fed everybody and their disciples were collecting all the leftovers, one for each of them, and Jesus says this famous phrase, nothing is wasted. I believe that was true there with their leftovers, and the same thing is true with the leftovers of the pieces of our lives in the silence.
Yeah.
Nothing is wasted. So it's possible that the silence is there as actually a punctuation point to draw you out and to draw you closer, or to get your attention. Maybe the silence is positive. You just view it as negative.
Because we don't know
outcome. Yeah, we don't know. Did you know that Mother Teresa noted in her journal long stretches of time where she felt this stillness and this quiet with no resolve and no answer? So listen, you're in good company. You and Mother Teresa, you and me.
In thinking about this, I think sometimes it's a flat out timing thing.
Yes.
Because I think sometimes if there's silence and we're waiting for an answer, what is the likelihood that the second God gives you that answer, it's like, okay, go time, let's move.
Right.
Whereas, maybe the answer is coming, but he hasn't given it yet because the timing isn't right.
Wow.
And so maybe part of it is just being patient, trusting that in the right time, in the right moment, the answer will come, which is the worst. Like, it's so hard to wait and to not know, and it's the realm of the unknown, and we just hate sitting in that space. But sometimes it really is about waiting for the right time at the right moment, the exact right thing, so that we don't jump ahead too soon of what he has planned.
So why is God so silent? Because there's a timing element. He's trying to put the right things together at just the right time. And if he told you right now, you can't control yourself. You can't not do it. That's me. If he told me right now, I would just go and do it. If I knew all the things, I would ruin it all, because I would try and make it happen, and I would try and do it on my own energy, my own speed. I also wonder if God is so silent because he's actually waiting for you to actually speak. I wonder if there's a part of you that's waiting for him to make the first move, and he's saying, no, I'm here.
I've always
and
been
you need
here.
I'm always been here. I've been chasing you down, and now I'm leaving some space for you to actually get the stuff that's inside of you out. I wonder how many of us are holding on to pain, hurt, baggage, wounds, all these things. And he's like, I'm giving you some space. I'm giving you some space. This is like our marriage summed up. Like, I'm like, could you just please say the things that you're actually feeling or that you're thinking? And I just wait, or I just talk over her. God's not talking over you. He's creating a space and a place for you to communicate, for you to connect with him, for him to speak into you. And I wonder if the silence that you're experiencing right now has as much to do with the things that you need to get out as opposed to just like, how come he's not saying anything? It's
a two-way
So you do have to stop talking and listen at a certain point, but you also have to say something in response. What if he says something to you and he's waiting for you?
Yeah.
Maybe the silence isn't exactly what you think it is.
Yeah.
Hey, this is The Engaged Life. I'm Brett. This is Desiree. We are honored that you are on this journey with us. We're going to keep diving into this idea. We're going to talk about unanswered prayer next week right here on The Engaged Life. We'll see you then.